watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's as we welcome you to the SEC on ESPN Rupp Arena prime time. Where else would you rather be as Western Kentucky comes to town? First meeting against undefeated and top 10 Kentucky for the first time in 3 seasons. He's Pat Bradley. I'm Roy Philpott. Away we go. The Cats, they've been riding a heater. What a start. And Oweh has been leading that charge.
Oweh is 6'6" strong, and he leads the way for the Cats with 10 steals with the athleticism to finish with a high-rise yoke. And this is what he's known for, though. Downhill, driving the basketball. He played with strength to finish in the lane, and he's improved his three-point shot. Made 20 last season, already has 7 for 46% behind the three-point line.
Numeral 00, the transfer from Oklahoma, one to watch. Western Kentucky reached the big dance a season ago, projected second in Conference USA this season. And away we go from the Commonwealth. The opening tip controlled by Big Blue Nation, the Kentucky Wildcats. Backdoor cut, and there's Andrew Carr. It's 2-0.
Well, right on cue, you have the big fella up top making a great decision. Mary Williams, you can run the offense through him at the top of the key position.
Don McHenry, leading scorer, first team All-Conference USA, over 17 points per contest. And off the pump fake, drains a 3 on cue.
They're going to need a lot of that, considering how quickly Kentucky ones get down, and you don't necessarily want to get into just an offensive battle if you're Western Kentucky.
It's a brand new starting 5 for the Cats this season under first-year head coach Mark Pope. They shoot the 3, run NBA sets. They've already taken out top 10 Duke to begin this regular season. McHenry, an early heat check. Carr tracks it down.
And they're going to shoot quick, whether on a make-miss.
Go back.
This should be a chaotic start. Both teams, in terms of adjusted tempo, tops in the country, both in the top 10. As Colombe connects, and it's 5-2 Hilltoppers.
Well, that's what Kentucky's going to have to do, because Western Kentucky's going to come downhill. You got to stop the ball, identify the ball, stop that, then get out the shooters.
Robinson comes up short, pops out to McHenry.
See right here, good job. Jackson Robinson turns around.
Little shake and bake, the floater in and out. Robinson controls. Jackson Robinson, the BYU transfer.
That's a great advanced pass.
Rejected inside by 5. Babacar 5. Hilltoppers back to work. Colombe bottled up. Tyrone Marshall launching. And tapped out of bounds. 5 hit it last. Hank Plona, year number 1. Up in Bowling Green, about 2 hours from Lexington. He has not skipped steps in his journey. Longtime junior college head coach, graduate of Providence in 2007, and at GA began his coaching career there at Providence College with the Friars, the old Big East. Robinson connects from downtown, tied at 5. Toppers on the other end. Lander, no good. Butler walks it up. San Diego State transfer. It's amazing just the new look of this Kentucky program this year under Mark Pope. Out of bounds, it'll go back to Western Kentucky.
In that half-court offense, you've seen a couple of times now that first play to Andrew Carr, backdoor cut, and they shoot the ball so well, you have to defend the 3, so you're going to overplay. Kentucky understands that, pull everybody out of the lane. Make good use of that backdoor cut right there. Jackson Robinson saw Williams splitting the screen, just couldn't get it on target.
Braxton Bayless delivers a pass and a traveling violation inside on Marshall. We mentioned the new vibe here in Lexington with Mark Pope taking over. Great conversation with him today. We talked about emotional reservoirs, Pat Bradley.
Yeah, that was, you and him connected on that.
It was amazing watching their shoot around. It's just something different than what you see around college basketball. They dial it down a little bit pregame before they get amped up for the actual game. Williams lost the handle. And Amari Williams turns it over.
Another slip of the screen there, just couldn't handle it. Same action. And what you see from Western Kentucky, every time someone catches it, they're trying to score against you. That's why they get up shots so quick. They just straight up attack, and if they don't have a shot, they're throwing it out to nobody.
Marshall threw it to Butler, the Euro step and the easy layup. Cats by 2.
And Butler, obviously such a great defensive player. Not only one-on-one, he's a big, strong kid, but got great instincts and anticipation.
Lander thought about the step back. Try to work it down low to Keita. Back to the basket, off glass, and we're tied at 7.
That was a nice little move against Williams. Another defensive player of the year that Kentucky has, along with Butler and Oweh.
And the DNA of this team is built around defense. Inside and a chance for 3. Lamont Butler connects and shooting a free throw when we return. Cats back in front. 4 minutes in here at Rupp. Tomorrow, way back in 1976, it went down, and of course, multiple renovations since. Cats with about an 89% winning percentage since this building opened its doors on November 27th, 1976, where basketball and religion collide in the Commonwealth.
Yes.
Rupp Arena. I mean, you can feel it in the air tonight. And basketball season, PB, it's just underway, right? We're just getting cranked up. Cats are undefeated, a new head coach, a new vibe in the arena.
The bicentennial, 1976.
That's right, it was. Good call on your part.
Yeah, it's the year I was born. It's really the only advantage of it. You never forget when the bicentennial is. But there was red in that. Perhaps that was the reason why?
I had to do a double check and just to make sure that the color was not blue, and it wasn't. It opened and there was a lot of multicolored seats, and the red outside, kind of a different vibe than what it is now, of course. Tedford checks in and launches a 3. And now, of course, it's all blue, as it should be. Inside to Carr. 3-point lead. Carr's going to shoot a pair. Great job he did in that win against Duke on Cooper Flag. And the SEC Player of the Week as a result for his great work.
And does a good job. They recognize Lamont Butler. Good job by Andrew Carr running the floor, first of all. That's what you love to see. Big fella, get it to him.
You like him. You're high on Andrew Carr.
Absolutely. Defensively took on the challenge of guarding Cooper Flag. Understands how to get shots in the offense, whether it's cutting, whether it's running the floor like that. And he could shoot the 3, but in that instance, got on the block, knew he had a smaller guy, did not give up any position, caught it, went straight up.
2 of 2 at the stripe. You saw the free throw percentage. Sparkling 91% to pace the Cats this season. That's saying something. You got Kobe Brea on your roster, who's lights out from 3. He's on the floor for the first time. Try to dump it down low. Phi unable to corral it.
And that was
Bedford was stripped rather.
Andrew Carr did a good job of taking away that left hand to cause that turnover. Oh yeah, get it to the big fella.
Garrison inside, too easy. Had position, 14-7. Cats have their largest lead.
And there'll be mismatches like that all over the floor with Kentucky's bigs being versatile, being able to create some space, stepping out the 3-point line.
Phi down low. Gets to the free throw line often, and he will here. That was one concern with Mark Pope when we talked with him today. 5 in red can get after you on the offensive end.
Identified, good job by Carr. Good job creating some space, too, on that pass. Recognizing that mismatch. It was a good pass over the defense, too.
Brandon Garrison, the Oklahoma State transfer. Babacar Phi at the stripe, 76% shooter. He'll get to the line about 6.5 times per game so far.
Well, Kentucky has done a really good job this year, the entire season, about not fouling their opponent. One of the best in the country of not putting their opponent on the free throw line. This could be a game when you're talking to coach about their game at Grand Canyon. He felt like they should have gotten to the free throw line more, so they're going to try to do that. Coach Pope talked about how one of the key things is going to be keeping Western Kentucky off the free throw line.
Couple of free throws, full court pressure shown by the Hilltoppers. Just occurred to me, you're the same age as Rupp Arena, right?
That's right.
Just thinking about it, you said it, and it just hit me for whatever reason.
place has definitely aged a lot better than me.
Garrison inside, the patient finish. Back-to-back buckets for number 10.
Kentucky knows Western Kentucky is not going to, they're going to do everything they can to pressure that three-point line. Good job multiple times of slips, getting to the basket and finishing in the paint.
Phi tried to save it, could not. Keith Kimball baseline with a call and a turnover.
You're going to see a lot of that action right there when Garrison hands it off to Jackson Robinson, who has either, if he's being overplayed, he can cut to the basket on the wing or come off that screen for a three, or you get that slip from Garrison.
Kriisa on the floor for the first time for UK. 6 of 9 from the floor to start. Garrison will track down the pass. Wing three, Robinson drains it.
He does not need much space, does he?
Phi inside, pump fake and a finish.
And they're just always on the attack, make or miss. We talked about that. Both teams really make or miss. They're gonna want to get the ball past half court within 3-4 seconds, try to get a shot.
Backdoor cut, trying to spot Almanor.
You see Kriisa, good job, and right there, I mean, you got to understand, even though he's 2-3 feet behind the three-point line, you got to move on the catch with Jackson Robinson, a good attack move right there, and finished by Western Kentucky. Kentucky has got to understand make or miss, get back, turn your head, sit your feet. They're going to look to attack or pull up for a three quick.
Helen Chandler checks in for the first time. Bedford, the runner. And he'll shoot a pair, 13 in red to the line.
That was a nice tight curl. That's one thing that the ability in understanding how to use screens can get you multiple, can get you extra shots, really. A tight curl, mostly hard screen, tight curl. Reading the secondary defender. Is he coming up to help? If not, then you get that little pull-up jumper action.
Bedford has a nice pull-up jumper, actually paces the Hilltoppers in three-point percentage this year. Jump out of the gym, 2 of 2 at the stripe, and that'll slice that lead down to 6, still early and rough. What was it like early non-conference play for you back in the day in the SEC? Is it tough to kind of find that rhythm the first couple of games of the year?
Oh, it's fun because you get a chance to play outside your league, get a chance to see different teams and occasionally play in different arenas.
Phi, another rebound. It was stripped and Chandler snuck in there. Dug it out. Brea thought about it. Top three-point shooter in America last year and this.
Almanor does a good job of cutting through the basket. Got to take care of the basketball better there. Better hard driving guard right there.
Bedford swatted out of bounds. No foul in the play. And Western Kentucky will inbound it.
Slows down, know that he has a defender to his, both behind him, one to his left, one to his right, trying to create some kind of contact to get back to the free throw line.
Marshall tied up.
Great defense. Almanor, he's got great instincts. I thought that may have been a jump ball action right there.
Possession arrow keeps it.
Was okay. Good
with
defense.
Western Kentucky. And an offensive foul. That'll go on Phi. So he picks up his first. That's certainly something to watch with his level of activity tonight. As Keita checks back in to replace Babacar Phi.
What I like about Western Kentucky and their offense, they are always on the attack. Straight line action on the attack. Sometimes quick shots and not the best shot selection, but they're always attacking you to look for the weakness.
Brea from downtown and a rare miss. 74% from 3 this season for Kobe Brea.
Job stopping the ball right there by Carr.
Bedford launching. That's a 3. 19-16.
You have to expect every player of Western Kentucky is either going to attack you every time they catch it or rise up and shoot it every time they catch it.
7-0 burst and a one-possession game. Thedford grabs the rebound. And losing the handle. He stepped out of bounds. Cats get it back. And when we return, Pope's premonition. Did you watch what happened against Duke? 3-point lead for 8th-ranked Kentucky back in Rupp Arena. 2 weeks ago, Atlanta the place to be for a big moment late. The Cats and 6th-ranked Duke. Mark Pope, grab the mic, please.
If I get Cooper on an ice, right? We're coming and we're rotating back. If he starts to spin, we're coming now. It's going to either be a full body or 2 hands. We are not bringing down the foul. No 2 hands to take the ball. If Cooper goes to work and spins, we should have a body there to take the ball.
Shooter, that moment went viral, predicting what Duke was going to do on the last play. An enormous win for Mark Pope, for Big Blue Nation, and for the SEC in that thrilling victory against Cooper Flagg, considered to be one of the top prospects for next year's NBA draft, and a team in Duke that has national championship aspirations.
Well, there's a lot of tape out there on Cooper Flagg to know which kind of moves he's going to make. You saw, though, Carr stayed in front of him, okay? Forced him to spin. So didn't allow him to turn the corner, didn't give enough space for a nice little mid-range jump shot, which Cooper Flagg is so good at. Forced him to turn into the defense, and you saw his left hand couldn't handle that. Kentucky comes up with the steal and the win.
Brea out of the timeout, off the back iron, 0 for 2 from deep. 7-0 run for the Hilltoppers. They're back in it. Not even halfway through the first half. Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott, glad you could join us tonight. Lander with a path, lost the handle, and rejected at the rim. Mari Williams snuck in there at the last minute, a foul.
So 19-16 now, and as is, Western Kentucky has matched the Wildcats, both 2 3-point shots apiece. Kentucky's turned it over 5 times. They only average 10 per game. So they're halfway to their average, and it's been unforced turnovers. And the other thing is, these teams average about 73 possessions per game. We're on pace for over 80 right now. So for Western Kentucky, you can miss shots, turn it over, and if you can keep getting extra shots, extra possessions, you're going to at least have a chance. I expect Kentucky not to have as many unforced turnovers, take care of that. There's a few times guys cut into the basket, just not on target pass.
Cut across the paint, a foul called against the Hilltoppers.
And Kentucky's been dominating in the paint, as they should. 10-4 now. Like I said, that 3-point shot hasn't fallen. 2 for 7 for the Cats. But, you know, that's the beauty of their offense. They shoot the 3-point shot so well, they're going to be able to beat you up in the paint. So it's like pick your poison. See, nobody wants to help right here. He's all day.
Williams too strong. That last foul on Marshall. Carr got it back and was hammered. Keita reached in.
That's always a few things when you look at going on the road and trying to get a victory. You got to take care of the basketball. You got to shoot it well, and you got to rebound well. And that was one of the concerns is Western Kentucky going to be able to compete on the glass? So far, they've done those things well, those 3 things.
Butler outside, Oweh, and that shot was blocked. Butler gets it back. And Carr the spin in traffic and a chance for 3. The ball just died on the back of the rim and fell through.
Well, I think that was because he got hit on the wrist. It was like the perfect, and again, no help. Well, he do dig down by Thedford, but he knew that he had to get back to Brea. That's the touch there.
Second foul on Marshall in the last 60 seconds. Carr back to the line. SEC Player of the Week because of that great game against Duke. And Marshall with the 2 infractions heads to the bench. Andrew Carr, the Wake Forest transfer. 10 points, almost 5 rebounds per game thus far. And his size, graduate student, his experience. This Kentucky team, while brand new, is fairly old in nature. A ton of experience from around the country, whether it was Butler, San Diego State, Carr at Wake Forest, Oweh from Oklahoma. It's a veteran roster that is gelling together rather quickly.
I think one of the important things for that, you see McHenry, where he's got, we were talking to Coach, he shoots as well from the mid-range as he does at the rim.
You don't see that a lot.
You don't see that a lot. Right there, obviously a little off balance, but those are the kind of shots he's used to take.
Oweh rejected by Lander out of bounds. It'll stay with Kentucky.
Defense by Lander. They normally, Oweh is able to get by his guy, either bully ball him, get all the way to the rim, or make some kind of an acrobatic play.
Were you a big bully ball guy back in the day in Arkansas?
Nah, maybe 7th grade,
Okay.
8th grade, playing against the 6th graders. I'd say, get out of my way. This is my playground. And kick him off the swing set.
Robinson wide open, short.
And they've had some good looks. 2 for 9 right now.
Lander, the bounce pass. Phi was inside, could not handle it, and Lander, the Indiana transfer, commits the foul.
Kentucky doing a good job of staying ready. We know that Western Kentucky is going to attack you, identify your man, talk, stop the ball.
Cats in the bonus the rest of the half, and we have 10 minutes and change remaining. We haven't talked about the shot clock very often tonight.
No.
No extended possessions really to speak of. And Butler at the line, 64%. Part of that defensive DNA here in Lexington now. Former Defensive Player of the Year in the Mountain West Conference 2 times. Missed the front end, tapped out, it'll stay on this end.
So you see Lamont Butler there. We know how great of a defensive player he is. He's got the body for it and the anticipation. Doesn't leave his guy because he knows there's no reason to double team if you don't have to. That kick out is going to be there, just an inch away from getting the steal.
McHenry behind the back, contested triple. Robinson clears, a strong board. Look, Butler has a strength about him. You watch him in person, the experience. Final Four run at San Diego State. He hit that game winner against FAU back in the day. And the other direction, foul. 2 free throws coming for the Hilltoppers.
You have another unforced error right there. Just a turnover that shouldn't happen.
Robinson picks up his first. Lambe at the strike, 23 in red. So Western Kentucky team, we mentioned it, picked second in the Conference USA preseason poll. Won Conference USA last year as a 3 seed in the championship game. They took out UTEP. So after making the dance, Hank Polona in his first season, he takes over.
And he's got 4 guys that came with him from Indian Hills Junior College.
Conference USA, a deep league when you think about some of the teams. We saw Liberty upset Kansas State. What was that, last night? There's already been some marquee wins. Kennesaw State as well. 22-18, and Frank Polona. You respect the guys that started out as a GA at Providence, went the junior college route, has a roster constructed of a lot of JUCO guys that he trusts, that he's coached in the past. There's something to be admired about that.
There's no doubt. Head coach at 29, he said, listen, I got a lot of experience as a head coach. So Western Kentucky putting on some full court pressure there.
Jack Edlin picks up his first. Free throws coming.
First time Kentucky, from an offensive standpoint, has gotten it down to 12 seconds on the shot clock.
Is that where we were?
That's where we were.
That felt weird.
Yeah. Coach Pope says, listen, we want to get the ball past half court, 3 seconds, attack. But good job there of Western Kentucky slowing them down a little bit. And they're going to have to. Kentucky's offense is so good. You got to switch things up, throw them off balance a little bit.
Carr at the line. He's been perfect there tonight. The jinx is real.
Yeah,
it's real.
It is. I knew. I told you shouldn't say it, but you went ahead and did it.
McHenry wanted to spring the 3, couldn't do it. Edlin on the floor for the first time. Carr 5, outside to Edlin. And that shot was blocked. Robinson on the blow-by, got a piece. Butler Oweh.
And all started when Butler was able to turn the corner, get in the paint. Good cut by Oweh. And for him, that's a simple finish.
First bucket for Kentucky's leading scorer.
See right there, good attack, gets in the lane. Good things happen when you get in that blue paint. Oweh with the good cut. Strong finish. This Kentucky team's a really good cutting team, and I think that's what a lot of Coach Pope's offense is predicated on. That if you are getting denied on the wing, cut. If you don't have anybody in front of you, cut to the open area. Player movement and ball movement has been key for Kentucky this year. That's why their offense is so good.
Of course, Mark Pope played in the NBA, 6 seasons in the association. Some of his concepts coming from the professional ranks. Butler wide open, 3, no. Robinson pokes it up to himself. Oweh from downtown. In and out. And a foul called. Hitting the deck. Colombe. How did that not drop? That almost should count as 2 points.
That hit every part of the rim right there.
Explain. Physics.
He had a good rotation on that shot right there, so you would think it would go in. It's funny how it just spun out the other side of it, but that happens. Oweh's put a lot of work into his jump shot this year. At 46% entering today's game. That's one thing. You know, coming to high school, everyone knew that 6'6" frame, he's going to attack you. Certainly he's improved on the shooting side of his game.
Ooh, Thadford. In and out as well. Carr clears. Big fella will bring it up the court. Oweh, the lob. Williams. And was pushed in the back. 7:39 to go in the first. The lead is 6. The undefeated Kentucky Wildcats.
Taken out?
No.
He was sitting underneath the basket, and there was a collision under the hoop. There was actually an offensive foul called on R.J. Davis. So they ran right into Roy Williams and took him out. Knocked him right out of his chair.
Is he okay?
Right on his backside. Oh, he came up. He was ready to rumble. No, I'm kidding. He wasn't ready to rumble. He was smart. He was fine.
Williams was shoved in the back on the attempted alley-oop. One more free throw coming for the Drexel transfer. CAA Defensive Player of the Year. You'll notice a common theme with this Kentucky roster. Talk about defensive DNA. They've got it. The rhythm in this game so far is interesting because it's been so chaotic offensively for both clubs. What are your thoughts?
Well, Western Kentucky keeps you off balance because you never know where or when they're going to attack. Because they attack on one pass, all 5 guys, you never know. Look, they've got really explosive athletes, guys who aren't afraid to shoot it and score from any position. And you know, one of the things they benefited from, obviously, we talk so much about the 3-point shot for Kentucky.
Carr off the pump fake, no good. Lander on the other end, cashes in. Lead back down to 6.
And then Kentucky, you know, they can obviously win games without having to average 12 made threes per game. Now they've been dominated in the paint, which you'd imagine they'd be able to do that. And one of the reasons is they don't really have double teams. You get your big guys being able to play one-on-one. Just can't finish.
There's some contact in the paint well before that shot by Williams. 3-pointer would make it a 1-possession game again. Western Kentucky back to work. Colombe inside. Boy, tough shot in and out. Rims are tight tonight at Rupp. It's a Kentucky team that has scored over 100 points 3 times already this year. Just 1 for their last 7 from the floor. Oweh baseline was hammered, and that was from behind by McHenry. Don McHenry picks up his first.
It was a good attack there. It slowed down a little bit. We talked about how the pace of play is sort of chaotic. Oweh was able to slow it down and do what he does best. Take that strong body, attack, get to the rim, if not, get to the free throw line.
I mentioned earlier, he wears the 00, represents his name, Otega Oweh. From more free throw coming. 84% at the line this season. Cats now 6 of 9 at the strike. Williams goes out. Brea comes back in.
He replaces Butler.
Carr back on the floor as well. (27-20), approaching 6 to play. Hilltoppers now 1 for their last 9 from the floor. Phi wants position against Carr. Carr wouldn't give it to him. Here's Lander off the spin. Threw it up there. Brea had that defended nicely. And a foul call. Free throws coming again. Cats in the double bonus. This is what we talked about, the offensive explosion this year. And if you compare the first 5 games a season ago to the first 5 this year, they're similar. But you just get the sense this team can do so many different things offensively compared to a year ago. Tonight, just a 2 for 12 start.
They hadn't shot the ball well, but they've taken advantage of how Western Kentucky wants to run them off the three-point line by getting to the basket. 14 points in the paint, and their big guys be able to get in the post, recognize some mismatches, attack the basket at times. They're not going to, you know, they're a great shooting team, so it's at some point they're going to start making shots, and you know, you just think about extending the lead from there.
Fewest points by Kentucky in a half this season, 37 against Duke. That came in the first half. 29 so far with over 5.5 to go. Largest lead of the half has been 10. Now at 9, McHenry swatted by Robinson. That was brilliant. Carr back to the basket against Phi, lays it up and in. Strong move. And Hank Plona has seen enough. He'll call a timeout. 5:09 to go in the half. We are back in 30. How about a block by Robinson?
And that starts to break right there. What I love about it, initially you get that advance pass. Everybody runs down the floor to spread out the defense. They get behind the three-point line and the wings in the corner. Andrew Carr catches it at the top of the key, the trail man at the top of the key. He sees he's got the paint all to himself because those three-point shooters are already set up. Big, strong Andrew Carr, under control, takes his time. Plays a little bully ball himself. Scores 2 in the paint. Another 2 in the paint.
Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott. Cats starting to clamp down defensively. Western Kentucky just 1 for its last 11 from the floor. And only 2 points in the last 4+ minutes. Phi will try to change that, can't do it. Marshall tracks it down. We'll restart it to McHenry. Now the lid firmly on this end of the floor. Oweh in traffic.
He's so good in transition. It was a good job. You had 2 passes. Kriisa to Brea and then to Oweh for the attack. And then you see how quick Western Kentucky comes back at you, make or miss. He's saying it over and over, and we'll keep saying it. You got to be ready for that.
Oweh, the lob was shoved, and if that's Phi, it'll be his second. Free throws coming. And the ESPN Events Invitational. Got Florida and Wake Forest headed your way on November 28th. Minnesota, Wichita State. Winners of those games will match up in the championship coming up on Friday nights. Florida Gators off to a good start this season. Walter Clayton Jr. getting the job done. Wake Forest has NCAA tournament aspirations with Hunter Salas. Came back to Winston-Salem for head coach Steve Forbes. Carr, a nice round of applause as he checks out. Amari Williams back on the floor. You do love the early tournaments where you mentioned as a player you enjoyed non-conference play.
Love it.
because maybe some of these teams haven't established the extensive scouting reports on Judah. They don't know which side he goes to, which his strong side is when he's in traffic or what have you.
Well, it's fun to travel with your team, and it's fun to play in new arenas, and it's fun to play against teams and fan bases that you don't normally play against. You know, teams that you've watched on TV that you don't get a chance to play against.
McHenry came up short.
Kentucky's done a good job, whether it was Jackson Robinson or Kriisa, of getting on McHenry's left hand.
Brea wide open. He's going to burn you more times than not. His first triple of the night.
Great ball movement to find the shooter right there, and he's ready. Feet are set. No hesitation to go up for that shot.
Inside to 5, and a contested layup over Williams, and a steal. Jackson off the mark. And a foul call. Cats had their largest lead there for a minute. It's back down to 14.
And we were waiting for it. Brea steps into that three-point shot. Get your man on time, on target. The Cats know who to get it to.
Dickinson and the numbers that one has put up in his entire career going back to his days at Michigan. And Cooper Flagg, the young freshman who we know, or at least we think we know, what he's capable of. The Star Watch on in a big way tonight at 9 o'clock Eastern on the ESPN.
It's fun to watch Cooper Flagg because at 6'9", athletic, he cares as much about the defensive end as he does as skilled he is in the offensive end. He's a shot blocker, defensive rebounder. He makes the right pass. He's an all-around type player.
Did you watch him this past summer? Scrimmaging against Team USA. Like, there were people saying, okay, he may be able to do this for Team USA. Let's go over to Paris and see what happens.
Exactly. I'm sure he could. And at 17 years old, still 17 years old, reclassified. His twin brother going to Maine. Going to play college basketball at Maine. See, Jackson does a good job. He's always going to pick you up full court. That's how he got that steal in the inbounds.
It was crafty, wasn't it? Yeah. 1 of 2 at the line. Didn't get the full payoff.
There's another slip by Kentucky big. Had 2 options. Made the right one to Kriisa.
Kriisa gets it done. And from downtown, the lead expands to 16. Detford, one of the foul, didn't get it. Rebound corralled by Brea. Leading three-point shooter in America. Caught the play for him. It's simply logo, and it's going up, and likely it's going in. Garrison too strong. Jackson the other way. Colombe launching, and that's a triple.
That's a great job of Western Kentucky to get the ball down the floor, spread the floor, recognize the trail three-point shooting man that Kentucky did not recognize.
Oweh calling for it. He'll get it off the high ball screen. In the mid-range. 41-28, Western Kentucky on the move.
You see Cade is playing deep in that paint defensively for Western Kentucky.
Hilltoppers had quite the experience in early regular season game at Grand Canyon. We felt like this team grew up a little bit. That kind of environment, and McHenry wanted 3. Kriisa remains the painted area and appears to be in pain, grabbing his nose or his mouth.
And that is one of the toughest things for a player. Defensively, you want to get up close, right? You want to pressure that offensive player. You see right there, I don't know if it was the shoulder.
Well, the first thing there, you're making sure all the teeth are still intact, right, as a player?
I got 2 knocked loose myself. And that's good. He's having fun with it. Let's see if we can see that a little bit more. Right? Yeah, right there, the shoulder, that right shoulder. Leaning in. And you know, watching Western Kentucky, we used to use the term herky-jerky. It's funny, some players still use that. It seems like every one of permanent players and guards for Western Kentucky. Stop, go, quick crossover, spin move. And what makes them even dangerous is you never know what shot they're going to take. They may give you a hesitation, stop and go around the back, and then throw it up mid-range. It just makes, you know what I mean? It's just you don't know where and how they're going to attack you.
We talked about that with Hank Polona today, and he mentioned, McHenry, a 3-level scorer. Mid-range shot is there. He's going to take it. And I said, Coach, we don't see that a lot in 2024. And he said, no, we don't.
But that's what makes them dangerous, is they'll shoot any shot, anytime, anywhere. Off 1 pass, no pass, 5 passes.
Carr had position. Butler unable to get it to him. Garrison thinking about it. Here's Butler. And tripped up. Colombe is going to pick up his second personal.
One in red is stuck underneath that basket, trying to prevent all of those cuts and post moves from Kentucky's bigs that have been taken advantage of.
Bad Boy Mowers battle for Atlantis, and the quarterfinals getting underway tomorrow. You think about some of those brands. Gonzaga and Mark Few against West Virginia, Arizona. Boy, Duke went on the road to Tucson and handled the Wildcats with kind of a bounce-back win for the Blue Devils after the loss to Kentucky 2 weeks ago.
In a tough environment.
Very tough environment. Oweh back on the floor. Garrison gets a breather.
Talking to Coach Polona today, he was sort of showing and talking and during shoot-around different ways to switch up his defense in the half court, and one of them was having his big fella just sit in the middle of the paint. And without Kentucky being able to make threes consistently, what they've been able to do, though, is take advantage of points in the paint. But with the big fella catered there, Kentucky hadn't been able to do it the last couple possessions.
Thedford, chance for 3 the hard way. And Julius Thedford, the talented freshman from Memphis.
I like him. Look how tight curl. Accepts the contact, knows he's going to get hit, braces himself. And the thing about that is you see where he jumped from. He turns the corner. He doesn't continue to go in a circle and end up shooting the ball beyond, maybe 2-3 feet outside the paint. When he shoots that, turns the corner, his left foot, he jumps from in that blue painted area. That's how tight of a turn he was able to get on that. So he's dealing in straight line drives, knows he's going to get contact, not circle, off balance, in the corner type floaters.
Brea picked up his second foul. Now with possession on the other end. 10 to shoot, under a minute to go in the half. Lead down to 8. Oweh makes it 10. He's got 9 points all of a sudden.
There was no help or rotation on that backside from Western Kentucky. And Kentucky again takes advantage of that cut. Such a great cutting team. Player movement, ball movement.
I thought the Hilltoppers may try to go 2 for 1. Thedford with a leg kick, full extension.
I thought he had an opportunity to turn the corner again. But sometimes that three-point shot, you just feel it.
Butler somehow saved it. And the bump by Marshall, that's going to be his third. Two more free throws, 11.8 seconds to go in the half.
Well, that's one that certainly you'd want to have back. There's no advantage to, wasn't like he was going for a steal.
Well, it's the foul 45 feet away from the rim. What should have been the final possession of the half. That'll put Robinson back at the line. Kentucky now 11 of 16 in this first half from the charity stripe.
So do you think 11 seconds, 11.8 seconds is going to be enough time for Western Kentucky to get up a shot?
My concern would be getting up a shot too early and Kentucky getting another shot the other way.
I'll take that for 1,000.
That's valid, right?
I'll take that for 1,000.
I didn't know we were playing basketball double jeopardy. That works. Here's Robinson, one more. Lander walks it up. Off the screen. Two-man game, deep triple. 45-33 our score, 20 minutes in here at Rupp Arena. And for Mark Pope, halfway home to continuing an unbeaten start against the Hilltoppers from Conference USA. Oweh with 9, Carr with 9, and the lead is 12 at intermission. You're watching ESPN's Feast Week presented by Lowe's as we welcome you back to the SEC on ESPN. Rupp Arena, Lexington, Kentucky. Undefeated UK, 8th in the land, leading Western Kentucky 45-33. He's Pat Bradley. I'm Roy Philpott. Welcome to our broadcast position courtside. Good start for the Cats, and the defense put the clamps down. Big's got things going. Andrew Carr able to put up some numbers.
Yeah, there's no doubt the advantage has been the Cats in the paint. Matter of fact, right now they're 8 of 9 on dunks and layups, and 13 of 18 from the free throw line.
A little high-low action.
A little high-low, very simple. And Kentucky is going to see this a lot in defenses because they shoot the three-point shot so well. Defenses are going to hug them on the three-point line. But Kentucky, one of the things that Mark Pope has done is bring in players that understand how to cut to the basket, cut to the open area, and especially guys like Andrew Carr recognize no double team is coming because nobody wants to come off of a shooter. So he's going to be playing one-on-one pretty much all night. At times a smaller defender, which he's going to have a huge advantage. Pun intended.
Understood. The 4 3-pointers made by Kentucky in that first half, the second fewest in a half this season. 3 against Duke in the second half in that win against 6th-ranked Duke. The lowest total up to this point. We will see if that changes. All that in mind, still a 12-point advantage as we get set for our final 20 minutes. Kentucky back in action on Friday against Georgia State. In the midst of all of that, Thanksgiving with the Popes, we got the invite today from Mark Pope. He said all the moms are flying in. It's going to be a festive atmosphere as they cook some of the home dishes for the team, and that led us to think for a moment, what would be those must-have dishes from our perspective? Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott, I need the pumpkin pie.
There you go.
I want my turkey deep fried. I'm from South Carolina. We dip it in. 45 minutes later, we bring it out. It's crispy, it's juicy. For you, though, a little different.
You know, coming from an Italian-Irish family, we have ravioli with everything. I'm talking any kind of holiday festivities. And the stuffing. Let me tell you something. My ex-mother-in-law made the stuffing with liver in it. I don't know if it was chicken liver, beef liver, whatever it was, but it was a stuffing in the liver. You put the gravy all over it, and that's unbelievable.
Liver?
Liver.
What
Yes.
are we doing?
Oh, the iron, the nutrition, the nutrients, but you couldn't taste the liver. You know, because they had the onions in there and all types.
Your
of
ex-mother-in-law, you said. All right, it starts to add up.
And my mother's raviolis, too. She does a good job. My father does the raviolis. They all cook.
Ravioli on Thanksgiving.
Almost every day can be raviolis.
I got you. Hilltoppers have it. Start of our second half, trailing by 12, and the shot high off the backboard. Cats the other way. Do you want to see anything differently on this side of the floor in the second half offensively?
I think they've taken advantage of what Western Kentucky has given them. They just hadn't shot it as well as they normally have.
7th rebound for Carr. It's a deep 3 by Robson. The spin by Butler. Boy, lightning quick. He wanted the chance for 3. A bit short on the layup. He'll shoot 2.
The great attack hesitation move. Got the ball exactly where he wanted to with that SEC logo, which now that quick spin move, he's got plenty of room to operate on the backboard to lay it in before getting fouled. But I think from an offensive standpoint, all right, 4 of 15 from the three-point line right now. But what Kentucky has shown is they're smart enough to understand, okay, we know that we got a size advantage. We can attack the basket, slip screens, especially if they're overplaying us. You know, they're averaging 21 assists. They get 9 assists right now. So for a team to not be shooting as well from the three-point line jump shots, usually they get a lot of assists on ball movement around that three-point line. To still be able to move the ball, to still be able to score. They're at 47 points right now. I mean, it's not like they're not putting up their offensive numbers. It's just in a different way.
Lander short. Williams taps it to Butler. No look dish inside to Carr, and there you go. A little showtime to start the second half, and Hank Pelota calls a timeout.
We've seen Andrew Carr multiple times running the floor to get himself an easy bucket.
49-33. Well, we mentioned earlier the first time in 3 years these two teams have met. The last time it went down, Oscar Tshiebwe, 28 boards. Career high for the man, the myth, the legend, the Big O.
Like we always say, the only way is the Sheeb way. And I've never been around, done a basketball game where a guy's highlight tapes were rebounds. I mean, his highlight was rebounds. Offensive, defensive rebounds. It was amazing.
He's in the G League with the Jazz right now. Meanwhile, real-time AP top 10. Cats are climbing after that win against Duke. They went from top 20 to top 10, still undefeated at number 8. There's a host of SEC teams involved in those top 10 rankings. And guess what? Auburn probably not going to go down after what happened last night against Iowa State.
Well, there's... If they won't rank them number 1, but they should and could, because they're in the conversation for that.
Allen pass was intercepted. A turnover. Marshall with the 3 fouls, missed the 3. It's tracked down by the Hilltoppers. Colombe that time. And Colombe the 3. Too strong. Ari Williams the rebound, and a deep sigh after grabbing the basketball.
There you go, big fella. Bring it up yourself. Oh, had the eye on the backdoor cut.
3-on-1. Oweh nearly a steal. It pops back to McHenry. Lays it up and in strong fashion. The left-hander now has 9.
That is a crafty layup. Williams is right there. We talked about Defensive Player of the Year. Williams, and McHenry's able to take it right at him. Understanding how to get it over the big fella.
Free by Butler, no. Weird question for you. McHenry, a lefty. Is that different in a big way defensively? Because you don't see a lot of left-handed point guards?
Sure, there's no question they attack at a different angle.
High up and in on the offensive board.
And you know, it's surprising, I guess it shouldn't be surprising that Western Kentucky right now has 7 offensive rebounds, Kentucky only with 6, but when you're shooting so many threes, quick threes from different angles, even your regular shots, the ball's going to come off the rim in a variety of ways. And so Western Kentucky's got that speed in the perimeter to track it down. But yeah, lefties have always been tough to defend just because of you know, you're not seeing and playing against them as much.
Inside, 1 to shoot. And our first shot clock violation. And I have to admit, I'm a bit surprised by that, given the pace of this one. Abakar 5 working hard inside.
Good job just getting around Williams. I don't know if Williams tried to box him out and missed him, but 5 was able to slip right by that box out. Talking about Oscar Tshiebwe, he said, ton of some Tshiebwe right here in this play. Tshiebwe was so strong with those big, strong hands. You could not box him out.
He did make rebounding fun,
yeah,
right?
It was amazing.
It was fun. 5 fell to his knees, kept his dribble alive. Shot clock down to 5. And a foul, the baseline penetration by Colombe. 2 free throws coming.
You talk about a left-handed player. He drove to his right on the baseline and actually shot with his left hand right in front of Jackson Robinson. Surprised Jackson couldn't get a piece of that.
Colombe 3 of 7 at the stripe this season.
But they are relentless drivers of the basketball and attack you from everywhere.
ESPN Events Invitational underway later this week. Minnesota, Wichita State. We talk Florida, Wake Forest. Gators ranked in the top 20. Steve Forbes, Hunter Salas, and that program trying to make the dance after narrowly missing the NCAA tournament last year. Got some NBA talent on that roster. Florida does too.
Walt Clayton Jr., they just got so much size.
Seems like he's been there in Gainesville forever. He's made so many big shots and big plays in his career. Carr double team. And that was in the act of shooting. Andrew Carr already with 11 points and 8 rebounds. A chance for 2 more at the line.
Another good decision by Kentucky, recognizing where the mismatch is, and tonight it has been right there in the paint. Patient. You see a double team when he turns his back by Western Kentucky, by McHenry. But at that point, Andrew Carr already had him right under the bucket.
3 fouls now on Don McHenry, leading scorer, over 17 points per game. 2 in red. First team All-Conference USA. And 1 more free throw coming for Andrew Carr. Westchester, Pennsylvania, 1 of 2. 5 clears. And Western Kentucky, give them credit, as frantic as this game has been at times. Only down a dozen. McHenry just looking for a crease, the southpawer. Marshall drains a 3. Lead down to 9.
Western Kentucky's they have 4 3-point shot, and that is coming off the attack. We talked about how Western Kentucky's always attacking. Right there finds the open 3-point shooter.
Oweh baseline against Marshall. Well done. Now in double figures with 11.
Great decision. Could have forced up a 3 there, but understood he had the lane, and he is a fantastic finisher in the paint.
5 minutes into our second half. If I thought about it, attacking Garrison and Carr. Marshall inside, no. The help side defense was there. Here comes Butler. The crossover. Euro. And free throws coming. The transfer from San Diego State. And coming up, who's riding a heater right now in the SEC? Pat Bradley is going to tell you.
SEC heaters. 9 SEC teams in the AP top 25. 4 in the top 10, most of any conference in the land. And Auburn with 2 top 5 wins already this season. They're ranked at number 4. They will move up, there's no doubt about that. Auburn challenging themselves early on this season, looking like a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And Kobe Brea, how about 74% from the 3-point line, leads Division I. Tonight he's 1 for 3. And at any point in time, what's great about it, at 6'6", he's got great size, great balance, strong. And we could imagine he's the type of player in the style that they do play, that he can get hot quick.
NCAA history listed on that graphic. Right now, entering this game tonight, that 74% 3-point percentage was the best in America, going all the way back to 1996 in terms of that kind of fiery start when we're talking about heaters in the Southeastern Conference. And
let me tell you, 96, there were a lot of 3-pointers being thrown around just anywhere. In this building too, don't forget, you had the national championship team. I'm talking Tony Delk, Walter McCarty, Antoine Walker, Wayne Turner, Coach Mark Pope. They were lighting it up.
Team captain. Started his career at UW at Washington. Pac-10 Freshman of the Year that first campaign, I think back in '92. Team captain here in Lexington, that '96 title team. Phi, the pump fake, right over the top of Garrison. Nothing easy about that. It's in double figures now with 10.
Here's Jackson again. Just putting pressure on him, and he gets what he needed.
Offensive foul on Kriisa. That's his second.
Weston getting in the lane, gets stripped. That is a good job, though. Just that little ball fake gives him a little bit of enough room to finish that. But you see what the pressure does. You know, it not only forces your point guard to think about, I don't want to turn this thing over. I'm not thinking about running our offense. I just want to get it past half court. And now you get a player that can change game. I played with a guy, Kareem Reed, who could change the game based on his 94 feet of defense by not allowing the other point guard to get their team in their offense.
You can feel a little extra pep in the step for the Hilltoppers.
They took that time out early on with about 18 and a half minutes to go, and since then it's been the Hilltoppers.
Bayless on the spin in traffic. His first points. Lead back down to 9. Here's Brea looking for a crease and a kickball.
Bayless doing a good job again, getting in the paint. Pretty creative move right there.
Everything good with the feet shuffling around in there in your estimation? Some movement.
There's a little movement, but they get away with a little bit more than I think we're accustomed to. A little shuffle.
Deep 3. Kriisa responds. And the lead expands back to 12.
And that's a shot that all of these shooters that Kentucky has, they're practicing shots 4, 5, 6 feet behind the line.
Thetford, right side of the paint. He will shoot 2. He's been aggressive. 13 in red tonight. 3rd foul on Brea.
Now, normally I'd say you got to get up on a shooter, but he was at the, well, what would you say there? Solidly in the blue of the K in UK of Kentucky. So
it's a logo 3 where I come from.
Logo 3, brother.
Kriisa, of course, started his career at Arizona, 3 years there. Named after Steve Kerr. Wears that name on the back of the jersey. First name is Kerr, last name Kriisa. Year in West Virginia, now here in Lexington. 2 free throws for Thetford.
Thetford once again on that drive, straight line drive. Stayed in the paint as close as he could to be able to go up strong. Playing, understands he's going to get hit. Explosive, strong kid.
Do you remember when Steve Kerr played at Arizona?
I remember a little bit of it. What was that, 88? Was he there?
This is late 80s, before 1990.
Sure, I remember.
He would make a 3, and I want to say one season he shot close to 50% from 3. And every time he made a 3 at home in Tucson, the whole crowd would chant Steve Kerr in unison. And I mean, it was a thing. It's like one of my first memories of college basketball. Not sure if I'm dating myself there or not. On cue this time, short. Kriisa gets it back and was bumped. The shove in the process.
They would have been right on cue with the Steve Kerr story. That would have been perfect.
You can start that same chant here, perhaps, if you wanted to. Every 3 that goes in. Kriisa.
Kriisa.
Yeah.
How about Kerr following his own shot? How many times do we tell shooters, follow your own shot, shooter?
They told you that a lot in Arkansas. I don't know that you did it.
No, it was too close to the paint. A lot of injuries could happen down there.
Robinson, no.
Oh, great tip.
Rejection.
Kerr, Kriisa, great job on that tip back.
Cleared by the Hilltoppers. Here comes Lander. High off the glass, and the tip-in is good. Flying in, Colombe. And it's back to a 9-point game.
Western Kentucky's defense being very physical with the guards of Kentucky.
Brea double team, 3-point percentage. Garrison swings it back out. Pump fake, wide open. 7 on the shot clock for the Cats.
And what I love about this is fast break. And Western Kentucky follow that shot, because in that fast break situation, they're not as big as Kentucky, we know that, but at certain positions they're quicker than Kentucky, and they can get to that loose ball faster.
The challenge so far tonight for undefeated UK, 8th in the country. Win against Duke. Big games coming up. Brea, high arcing triple, not that time. Keita clears. Henry wants to make it a 2-possession game. Can't do it. Lander gets it back. Big jump stop. Kriisa on the move. 3-on-2 the other way. Kriisa. And now Thetford. Blocking foul call. Oh boy. 3rd personal on Kerr. Kriisa. The lead down to 9, under 12 to play. That Kentucky advantage down to 7 as we went to that last break, and Julius Thetford A big reason why the freshman from Memphis, leading three-point shooter coming into this game tonight, he's been in attack mode inside and out.
All night long right there, and Kentucky's defense knows it. Just a little jab step to open up his three-point shot, but that right there, that tight turn on that goes in a straight line, able to get up that shot, knows there's going to be contact, just like that last play here. He welcomes contact. Strong freshman. And he's playing like a Memphis guard, no doubt about it.
Hank Plona told us earlier today he can jump out of the gym, athletic. Mentioned the three-point shooting. 3 the hard way.
And
For Bedford, it's a two-possession game.
Two-possession. Well, you've seen them. They've given Kentucky a straight, relentless attack of straight drives. Western Kentucky's winning the turnover battle now. And they get a few buckets off offensive rebound, second chance points. So it's just a few things that are chipping away at Kentucky's lead.
Carr outside Oweh.
Great decision.
So strong.
Well, he had the big fella, and big fellas we know, Keita is not used to playing on the perimeter, so it's just a small ball fake, quick little ball fake to get Keita off balance, and then there's no rim protection there. Easy finish for Oweh.
13 points tonight, lead back to 8. Bedford to Marshall. Keita against Carr. Tumbling and traveling. He'll turn it over.
Perfect defense by Carr. Didn't give up his position. Resulted in Keita giving up the basketball.
It's been a balanced effort tonight. Let's take a look at the top scorers in the course of this young season. And McHenry with 9, 5 with 10, Bedford with 12. Right at his season average already. And he has starred on the biggest stage. Talked with Hank Plona. He said his first trip ever here to Rupp. Stepped in the building for the first time last night. And his team is not back down from this top 10 challenge. Shot clock dwindling. Down to 4, Brea. Butler. 5 controls.
Kentucky had Carr on the post early on in that offense, just missed him, and the mismatch couldn't get it to him.
Bedford with Brea. That's a 3.
It is another great aspect of Western Kentucky. They can miss a shot like you've never seen, but they are not deterred by it. Great job by Butler.
How did Butler spot Carr? There was an inch to deliver the basketball, and he did it. 5 on the other end. Hit hard. He will shoot 2.
Well, one of the great things is they've done this so much. Lamont Butler knows exactly when and how Andrew Carr is going to slip that string to the basket, so he knows where it's going to be.
Every coach in America watching that play with a big smile on their face, right? I mean, that is fundamentally sound basketball.
A little look away by Lamont, looked at the corner, looked at his shooter, just to slow the defense down a second.
Phi now perfect 3 of 3 at the line.
But then Phi comes and beats him down the floor. Western Kentucky on the attack.
I mean, I literally said, what a play by Butler on that pass.
He's already catching it.
Phi's already shooting a free throw on the other end.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the kind of pace we've seen tonight in terms of adjusted tempo. These are 2 of the fastest teams in America. Actually tied for 7th in that category. Doesn't take long after a make or a miss.
Jackson again hounding the ball. This time it's Lamont Butler trying to get Kentucky in their offense.
Brea wide open. Drains it. His second triple.
Great screen by Williams. Stayed strong, hard. Didn't let that defender through. Brea, all you had to do was catch, turn, and shoot.
McHenry grabbing his lower leg after that mid-range miss. Oweh gets it back. And he's going to shoot 2.
Great job. You see Williams didn't get the screen on that, but that's just what he's got a strong base. All great shooters. They've got strong legs where they can catch, turn, stay on balance. He's got a nice release, 6'6".
That shot, it goes way in the air, right? It's an arcing rainbow.
Well, he's got a high release point, which is great, obviously, to get it over the defender, but at 6'6", even better. And what we saw Oweh right there attack the basket, that was part of what Coach Pope was talking to us about their transition. You know, we asked him, we said, well, what are your principles and what are you looking at? He said, obviously, we want the advanced pass. Then we're looking at getting it to the wing. We're also looking, you know, there's steps of what you want. And Oweh is so good when he does get it at half court. So strong, he put his head down straight to the basket, missed it. Obviously in position for the offensive rebound. 2 free throws.
We talked about Shibwe earlier. The 28 rebounds the last time these teams played. It's Oweh tonight with 15 to lead the Cats. Carr, 5. Well, he took a tumble. And this was the one area Mark Pope warned us about. 5 gets to the line almost 7 times per game. And tonight already a perfect 4 for 4. Chance for 2 more here as the foul goes on Williams, his second.
It's a good aggressive move again. He was able to go a straight line and challenge Williams. There's not many people going to be able to do it this year.
Points tonight. Carr 5 from Senegal. 76% at the line. Perfect 5 for 5 this evening now.
Good thing for Western Kentucky, he goes to the free throw line a lot because he makes them a lot.
Kind of important.
Yeah. Yep. We've seen so many guys that can get to that free throw line, but it's just miserable from there. But there's an art to understanding how to get to the free throw line. Pump fakes, positioning, understanding how to draw fouls is certainly an art.
I think James Harden wrote the book on how to do that. Maybe with a forward by late Kobe Bryant or others that
one of the best
found a way to do it, right?
It's so important to be able to understand how to draw fouls.
Harden just made it
nice
a
pass.
mystery. Sharing the basketball. Oweh from downtown acknowledges this raucous crowd at Rupp. The lead back to 14. We're back in 30 seconds as Rupp comes alive. Pat Bradley, sharing is caring for the Cats. How about the rotation, the distribution, and the shot making there by Oweh?
Well, Williams is a great passer, not for just a big man. He's a great passer. Jackson Robinson recognizes that he's getting that pressure deep, you know, a few feet behind the three-point line. He makes the right action by cutting to the basket, which draws Oweh's defender. And it was just the right 2 correct passes. First of all, you had a great cut by Jackson Robinson and recognized by Williams. Just spreading out that defense. That right there is going to be a classic play of the actions of Kentucky and their half-court offense that we'll see for a while.
Hilltoppers no field goals in the last 3+ minutes. They have made a living at the free throw line tonight. Butler just picked up his second.
Yeah, the three-point line hadn't been kind to both teams, but the free throw line certainly has been.
Western Kentucky in the bonus. A lot of basketball left to be played. 8th all-time meeting. UK leads the series 5-2. Braxton Bayless, Niagara transfer. Missed the front end. Here comes Butler with a path, and he was bumped. Jackson got him.
And when you do have pressure from the opposing team's point guard, you see that lane open. Butler's strong enough to put Jackson on his hip, goes straight line to the basket.
Hey, don't forget this week's featured SEC Network men's basketball doubleheader. Cats and Georgia State. Headed your way 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 Central. Trey Johnson and Texas host Delaware State live from the Moody Center down in Austin at 9 o'clock Eastern over on the SEC Network.
This phenom freshman, Frosh, Got caught between freshman and Frosh, but he is a phenom at Texas, Trey Johnson.
Butler, Williams, up and in, and a chance for three. Amari connecting. And Kentucky on the verge, establishing its largest lead.
And what we've seen Kentucky be able to do is attack that paint multiple times. Good things have happened. We saw Oweh attack the paint, offensive rebound, gets to the free throw line.
Also, number 4, Christian Lander.
And Williams big and strong enough down there to do some damage on the second chance opportunities.
Williams at the line for 1.
Amari Williams, CAA Defensive Player of the Year, 3 straight seasons. Originally from England, was a member of Great Britain's under 20, under 18, under 16 national teams.
You prefer saying Frosh?
I'm more freshman like Frosh.
Gotcha.
It feels like you're caught between 2 words. You don't
Right.
really know what to say. Frosh. You see that written sometimes. I'm not comfortable with it. That's just me. Phi up and in on the offensive glass.
That opportunity created by a nice drive by Lander. Multiple Kentucky guys going over for a block. No one gets a weak side rebound.
Abakar Phi with 16 points. 4 fouls. Kalambe the rebound. And 6 boards as well. Active the interior. Working against Garrison, Williams, and Andrew Carr. Kalambe was stripped. Brea snuck in there. Ripped it away. Williams on 5 with 4 fouls, pushed it up. And if that's 5, that is number 5, and his night comes to an end, and it does. 2 free throws on the other side.
I just can't wait.
This is SEC ACC basketball.
Let's go!
Comes down to pride.
We'll do the very best we can to represent the SEC.
Let's go.
Yeehaw!
Pony up.
Better watch out.
Bring it on.
There's some history, there's some hatred.
Roll Tide, roll.
Stay out.
Yeah, there's some Final Four teams a part of that mix from last year. All gets underway a week from tonight. 3 straight days, and you take a look at some of those critical matchups next Tuesday, which, by the way, is December, which I'm not sure that anybody watching or here inside of Rupp Arena is ready for that. But here we are. I know you've got Pittsburgh, Mississippi State, I believe.
Yes, sir. And it's come quick.
These Wildcats travel down the interstate, battle Clemson Tigers at Little John Coliseum. If I'm not mistaken, I don't believe they've met since 1996, I believe, right after Mark Pope was done. Team captain winning that national championship. They played following August in Indianapolis. And that should be a festive atmosphere down in upstate South Carolina.
You got a little bit of Clemson, South Carolina this weekend, don't you?
Little football game down
Little
there.
football action down there.
Phi just fouled out, as we mentioned, going out to that last break. He has scored the last 6 points for Western Kentucky. And ends his evening with 10 in the second half, 15 overall. McHenry, the runner. It is a fun time of year in college football. So you have all those rivalry games. Kentucky-Louisville this weekend. Early start here in Lexington. Little game you may have heard of, hasn't been played in 13 years. Texas and Texas A&M. Prime time Saturday night down in College Station. Foul was called against Western Kentucky. And more free throws for the Cats. Keita picks up his 3rd. Kalambe to the bench. You follow the football this time of year at all?
Oh, as much as I can.
Yeah.
As much as I can. We got my Hogs are bowl bound. Looking to improve on that.
Free throw was nearly banked in. Lander controlling. McHenry wide open. That's a shot. He's going to make more times than not, but not that time. 72-57, 6.5 to go. Oweh has been steady once again. Not that time.
And the Cats have played through Williams. The last few possessions got him in the post. Actually got double teamed, spun baseline, had a couple shooters out there at the three-point line. Sent that one back. I'm going to be taking a look at that one, though.
Bedford rejected by Williams.
I mean, to me,
I thought it was still on the way
I
up.
thought it was up. It almost looked like a line drive. I don't know if they're going to take a look at it, but it's
Better angle here.
that's close. Just that gives you an idea his length and athleticism to go up and get that. Now it's right there. I mean, it's close, but it
Was dropping by about a half
the
millimeter.
effort. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. The effort, but
Count the bucket. 72-59. Still fun to watch those rejections.
great length, timing, and athleticism.
Brea, the pump fake, and the three. His third of the game. Now 3 of 7 from deep. Lead back to 16. Bedford, no. Garrison clears. Mark Pope, what do you learn in a game like this tonight? You've been challenged. You've kept Western Kentucky at arm's length. They've never really been comfortable. And Garrison.
Well, the ability to put up right now, sitting on 75. And take a look at this three-point shot. And Brea is so good. Little jab step right there. Under control, and he just hovers around the three-point line. You know what I'm saying? He's just always there, whether it's a catch and shoot, dropping into the post, reposition himself. I think Kentucky 75 they were sitting at 8 of 27. They made 8 threes, so they could get to their average. But I think it's good to see that they recognize what the defense gave them, which was a lot of drives, a lot of posts inside the paint area.
One more free throw coming for Garrison. And tonight, his first miss. So his first miss of this young season. Tin and white, Oklahoma State transfer. Donald's All-American, former Gatorade Player of the Year in the state of Oklahoma. 0 for 2. Lander, Bedford, up and in quickly.
He is quick and explosive.
We had something to say to Oweh afterwards. A wry grin from Ortega. Lead down to 14.
Well, those two guys are strong. You get Ortega, obviously that he's got a couple of seasons on Thedford, but two athletic, strong guys that like to attack the basket.
Butler, athletic and strong.
Another one.
He has the basketball on a string, it feels like. Garrison for 3. Marshall swatted, fouled, and he hit the deck.
Western Kentucky going to the 22nd free throw. And they have a knack of just making you foul them. They are jumping into the defenders. And they're always attacking. It seems like when they attack you, you're on your heels. That's how quick they're coming down. So as a defense, you're out of position. And Coach Pope talked to us about their transition. First thing he wants his guys to do is get their feet set so they can get back on balance to stop that ball and be ready for their attack from any position.
So third foul on Lamont Butler. Oweh and Garrison check out. Lead at 13. Western Kentucky did have a brief advantage early tonight. It's 5-2. Cats came roaring back. Trimmed it down to 7 here in the second half. And with possession, but Jackson didn't like the call. Butler calm, cool, and collected.
It's been fun watching Jackson and Butler in the second half, and even when Kriisa was in there. Yeah, that's a you're stopping his line where he's trying to get by the defender there.
Let's talk
Good
about
effort.
freedom of movement, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Cats now 21 of 33 tonight.
And Butler understands if you're getting pressured like that, just go by a guy. Just go right by him. And he's strong enough to, and quick enough to handle any contact or physicality from Jackson.
76-63. Contact. Brea going to pick up his fourth. Thetford grabbing his left ear.
Foul is on Brea. That's his fourth. The team's ninth.
This has turned out to be a free throw shooting contest in our second half.
Well, the other thing, too, it's been a physical game. So I think both coaches can come out of this and feel good that, you know, the next game that they get into like this that is physical, that they've got the guys with the attitude that can handle that.
And a combined 44 fouls between these two teams. Cats in the double bonus. Approaching 4 to play.
There's that double right there. Nobody came over to that wing.
Foul is on Henry. That's his fourth.
That last time that double team happened, Brea did a good job of faking, cutting and replacing himself on that wing.
McHenry just picked up his fourth personal. Entertaining night of action again out in Maui. Memphis back-to-back wins. First over number 2 UConn, Dan Hurley, and then now over Tom Izzo, Michigan State. And we mentioned the nightcap, 11 o'clock Eastern, rematch of the 2019 NCAA tournament, Auburn and North Carolina. If you like back and forth, fun and gun, up and down, and those two teams can score points in a hurry.
Chad Baker-Mazara had a fantastic second half for Auburn.
Talked to Hubert Davis last month after talking to RJ Davis. RJ said, we're trying to go as fast as we can. I said, how fast is that? Hubert said, as fast as humanly possible. They're trying to get up shots like what we've seen tonight between these two.
Yeah, this has been a quick game, fast tempo, chaotic at times. Wouldn't say it's been the prettiest of games, but it's certainly a physical game that we see another physical play right there by Carr and Williams. And back to the free throw line.
Stop me if you've heard this before. Free throws coming up when we return to Lexington. Here in our second half, and as we went out to that last break, we will tell you they went back to review the goaltending call on Amari Williams, and they said the ball was still transitioning upwards.
Wow.
No goaltending. The block was clean.
Clean block.
Take the basket off the board. Pat Bradley, Roy Philpott, and that's Andrew Carr. He has enjoyed himself quite an evening. Again, approaching a double-double with 14 and 8. But Amari Williams, that block, that was beautiful. You get a block like that, it's clean. Even if they called it goaltending to begin with, you reverse it, you get it right. We're good. I thought it was close.
And it was just his length, timing, athleticism, showed it all in that one play.
My only problem is, it's like a catch in football. You can slow those replays down and you can make a sequence look like whatever you want it to look like.
Yes.
I think in that moment, you watch the very end, you're thinking, the ball go down a half an inch. When they ruled it goaltending, is that enough to overturn the original call on the floor? You be the judge. It's going up. It's going up. Yeah, it's going up. It's going up. That angle was perfect.
And he blocked it perfectly back into game play where one of his guys could catch it and run that transition.
Not easy to do.
Not easy.
On further review, that could be a new segment. Lander, three as well short with a rebound. Thetford flying through the air. Threw it back up quickly.
One of my favorite young players.
He's got some ups in him, doesn't he?
Oh, there's no doubt.
Fearless.
Fearless. You know, you could say frosh freshman, but I prefer, I had my old college coach used to refer to as freshmans.
Plural.
Plural.
That violates so many rules of grammar.
Yeah, you know, he liked to combine things, sort of like how I combined the freshman.
Denver now with 15. How about that as a combination box score with 5 boards?
And he's fearless. He's tough. And he does not mind the contact.
You think about Western Kentucky in Conference USA this year. Picked second in the preseason poll. They're going to be a factor.
There's no question. Well, they got 12 returners.
Lander back up and in off the offensive rebound.
And guys that are very familiar with the system at Western Kentucky. Went to the tournament last year, so they're still hungry. Butler again, just pushing it, and he's so under control, strong. Once he gets to the paint, I don't think there's been many times where he either hasn't drawn a foul, scored on his own, or been able to kick it out or set somebody up once he gets in the paint.
It'll be fun to watch him in SEC play mid-February against what this conference will be able to offer. 9 teams ranked in the top 25 right now. We've talked about some of the early season wins that will bolster resumes come March. Lamont Butler, excuse me, in the addition for Mark Pope. Tremendous strength, gets it back. A couple of rebounds, why not?
Yeah, it was
late whistle.
Looked like he got hit on the elbow, one of those. And again, it's just difficult to deny him to the basket, Oweh to the basket. And Western Kentucky has a couple of guys where you just are not keeping them from the paint. He's padding his offensive rebound stats like Moses Malone back in the day, throwing up on the rim and the backboard.
12 points, 5 boards, 4 assists for Lamont Butler. We go back to the game winner against FAU in the Final Four. Bring that kind of experience and wisdom
and toughness. Like, you know, putting together the pieces for what Coach Pope did. I was talking to Coach Mark Fox about it. You know, you can bring in a bunch of new guys, but understanding how they fit, what you want from them, their skill set, is not easy to do. And don't get me started on the NIL, because you can have a lot of NIL and just give it to the wrong guys that don't fit in together.
Thetford, an air ball. Colin Chandler back on the floor. First time we've seen him in this second half. 83-64. Kentucky on the verge of improving to 6-0. Baseline drive, Robinson. Carr climbs for the rebound and a fresh 20. Going to work on Marshall, up and in. 16 on the board for Andrew Carr. And his first double-double of the season. 10 rebounds. Back iron for Lander, and Oweh will walk it up. That's not been easy tonight. Nothing simple about physical play between these two teams.
No, and right now, Kentucky wants to be careful because Western Kentucky is still aggressive, active, coming at you. And you just want to have the attitude of putting this game away if you're Kentucky.
Thetford again. And a chance for 3. 17 points for Julius Thetford. And now a new career high.
It's a great bounce pass straight to the rim. Frosh wastes no time getting to the basket and back to the free throw line.
17 and 5 tonight. Going with Frosh, huh? We're sticking with that. It's a mainstay.
I like freshmen's. Freshman didn't work. That's for sure. I mean, that doesn't go together like peas and carrots, you know what I'm saying? Or,
I do.
Or stuffing and gravy.
Pumpkin pie and fried turkey.
There you go. Meatballs and ravioli.
Nothing screams Thanksgiving like meatballs and ravioli.
Oh, now you're talking my language. Although I did get a message we're having lasagna.
That's not bad.
My father's cooking up his lasagna.
Somewhere Paul Biancardi.
Oh, he's got a smile on his face right now.
He is smiling big.
He's probably got a big plate of pasta in front of him right now, Coach B.
Under a minute to go. Andrew Carr with a reach-in foul. He will go back to the free throw line. 16 and 10 tonight.
You talked about Western Kentucky, NCAA tournament team last year, won the conference tournament. Very well could be back in the NCAA tournament this year. So kind of gave a little bit of a different challenge to Kentucky, because Kentucky right now sitting at 8 threes. So they had to do it a different way. Got to the free throw line. This is 41 times, 34 points in the paint. And how about this? Kentucky is still, right now, 86 points. So they're still able to score even without having to make a bunch of threes.
So an off night from the perimeter.
I mean,
and you're still putting up numbers.
Against a team that's going to be in contention to win their conference.
Bayless. And now Jackson against Oweh. Why not? I will say this. It's been a well-officiated, consistent game. The fouls that have been called have been infractions for Brian Dorsey, Keith Kimball, and Hunter Allen. And that's a foul.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Western Kentucky, they don't back down, and they try to attack you every second that they have the ball from a variety of positions. No matter who it is, they're coming at you. And that's going to result in a team that does go to the free throw line a lot.
Well, it's getting ready to get really loud, because one more missed free throw, and everybody in the arena is going to get some free goodies.
All right, let's see. The decibel level is getting up towards 95 here at Rupp Arena.
Holden on the floor for the first time for Western Kentucky. The free throw is good.
Do you think Jackson should get something now since he made it?
That would be one way to do it.
Reward him a little bit.
We saw it happen in the NBA last year, where free throw was missed intentionally to award everyone in the arena, and there was some controversy afterwards. No controversy tonight. Cats improved to 6-0, and 8th-ranked Kentucky gets the job done against Western Kentucky. Mark Pope continues a strong start as the new head man in Lexington. Once again, our final score, 87-68. For Pat Bradley, I'm Roy Philpott, our entire ESPNU crew. We say goodnight. Let's get you out to Maui, the Maui Invitational.